Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Pharmatalks with Pharmacist Adibisi Adeola. On our previous episode, we met with Pharmacist Abimbola Adibaki, where she gave us an insight into her journey, what she has experienced, and things to expect of Advantage Africa. On this particular episode, I bring to you, he's a mentor, a father, and he's my friend because he's someone I can reach out to. I message him on WhatsApp, sir. What is your advice? And he's always available. He's someone who is over time has been available for young pharmacists, and his knowledge is so vast that everybody should get to learn one or two things from him. And without wasting much of our time, I present to you Pharmacist Taofik Oladipupo.
Good
Good
day,
afternoon, sir.
good afternoon. My name is Pharmacist Taofik Oladipupo Odukoya, the founder and the CEO of Vanguard Pharmacy Limited.
Thank you, sir. It's a privilege to have him on board, and I don't take it for granted, sir. Without wasting much of our time, what made you feel like you want to start Vanguard Pharmacy? Because I know there was a time you used to rep, and at one point did you decide that no, community pharmacy is what I want to do?
That's not a tough choice really for someone like me. Um, if you actually know me very well, you know that I'm from Ijebu, and I came from a retail background. In fact, in our history, our forefathers were known as great entrepreneurs in their generation. So it wasn't a tough one. So while studying pharmacy in the UI, I've always known that side of me that I am going to be an entrepreneur one day. And the most interesting thing is that in school, a lot of people don't know that side of me. But immediately I'm out of pharmacy school, after strike, holidays, you get to see me out there in the spare parts business with my brother. And so I'm always neck deep in learning the basics of entrepreneurship. And I think I did that so well between 1995 and up until 2001 that I graduated from University of Ibadan. Of course, I haven't worked in the pharmaceutical industry space in Nigeria. I knew that we just needed to go there to have some stints on how to understand how to run a big corporation, which was exactly what I tried to do while working with the multinational companies then. I did immerse myself in a work. I became a toast of my superiors, and I was just all out there to pick all the learnings as fast as possible. And it was right for me to actually pivot at the time we started Vanguard Pharmacy. I pivoted into retail, which was something I've always had. And you know what also made it so easy was also the fact that I was fortunate and opportune to marry someone that came from an entrepreneurial background too, and so it was just like a very easy decision at the end of the day for the two of us.
Thank you, sir. So when you started Vanguard, challenges, how was it like when you started? Was it difficult? How did you? Because I remember I was talking to somebody and I was told that Vanguard used to be at one shop around Yano Church. So how was the beginning like?
Well, the beginning is not different from what it is today. It's just unfortunate today that people think that there were opportunities in the past. It's still the same thing. We started from the very, very humble beginning. 17A Abegbe Shopping Complex. It's not far away from here. I think just about 200 meters away from where we are now. And we started with more shelves than drugs. So it wasn't as if we had a lot of money. And our seed fund, like I tell people, came from my personal savings. I'd been working for some few years. And my wife's NYSC savings.
Mm.
too were added to it. And that was how we got our seed fund to actually start Vanguard Pharmacy then. You want to ask me, it was difficult, obviously, because when you are starting, you realize that your brand, if you have one, could not actually attract talents. And so we started with the two of us with one associate, but we were determined to actually take it to a level where it will be able to actually attract talent from far and near, and exactly what we did. There were periods of painful periods. I remembered working 24/7, no holiday, no off. Even when you are not feeling too well, you have to be at work because you practically couldn't even have money to recruit a locum or something. And so it was a period of intense uh, pressure and hard work. But we thank God today the story is a bit different. We were able to evolve out of that small space to get into the main road where we started building a brand, and that was when people started taking us seriously. And I think today we've been able to build a business that can attract talent from far and near, and we are just so excited about it. But tell me again, I will say that you have to go through the pain of building, and that's exactly what entrepreneurship is about. And we have read stories of entrepreneurs across the globe. I think it's about the same story. You have to start from the humble beginning, raise capital, get dirty, get your hands dirty before you can get into a level where you can be better and your business can start attracting talents from founder.
When you started Vanguard then, were there times you felt like this thing is not working, let me quit?
Well, for me, I wouldn't say so.
Mm.
And maybe again, I think I need to underline that I had been opportuned to follow a business that started from a very humble beginning that turned into a million naira revenue generating business. And so starting Vanguard, it was so clear. The pathway was so clear. I knew within me that there are going to be periods of ups and downs. There are going to be periods where it will truly be a lonely journey. And so, yes, there were tough times, but not enough for me to say I want to go back and get a paid work.
You have heard it. He said that difficult times will come. Famabibola said the same thing. What do we see? That people, when you start a business, have it at the back of your mind that opportunities will come as much as difficult times will come. What matters to you is what you want and be firm about what you want. Pursue it with all your heart. So I want to ask, you have multiple branches now. How are you able to manage all your staff? What leadership attributes do you have, or yes, do you have that you have been able to use to manage all your staff? Because I know that Vanguard has over 200 staffs, if I'm not
Okay, I
exaggerating.
think I should correct that.
Okay,
As
sir.
of today, we have over 500 people in our
Wow.
employment. That's in 13 locations, including our head office.
Wow.
We have two big distribution centers. And so if we take all of those units independently, I think we'll be talking about 15 different locations. But again, the beautiful thing is that life is much easier today than it was when we were building. Because today we have been able to build leaders all around us and all around the business. And they have been so responsible because, yes, we've invested in them. We've also been able to ensure that everyone on our team is able to also succeed and thrive, which is keeping with our mission statement as much as possible. And so life is actually sweeter today and much easier. In fact, today I can go on annual leave regularly, and I do go on annual leave, unlike the first 10 years of the business where there was nothing like that in the dictionary. And the business is going to be 2 decades next year. Wow. So I think I haven't done all the work and ensuring that you are able to create and clone a lot of people that can be like you. Not perfectly anyway. People expect perfection, but I tell people you can't get perfection. And the moment you are not expecting perfection, you are going to get quality people that surround you. And if you give them the responsibility and the will to also act, then I think things will be better. And that's talking about the entire people issue, which is obviously a big deal. And I know there might be more questions around that. So let me stop here.
Thank you, sir. I want to ask, how has we are currently in the technology age era? How has technology impacted the growth of Vanguard?
Of course, we can't talk about scaling without talking about technology. Technology is something we pursue so passionately in Vanguard, and we have invested ahead of competition a lot in technology. In fact, today we use one of the best ERP in the retail space in the world. And I'm being frank when I say in the world. So technology is out there for us, and we have to continue to leverage it to actually ensure we get the kind of result that we want to keep getting. And we are not joking about that. It's something we don't just speak about. We do the right investment, and we ensure that we use technology to actually augment whatever we are doing today. And that's why it's even more easier and seamless for us to be able to manage people across numerous states in the southwest of the country without having to visit almost regularly.
Outside of your space now, we have had situations where people they tell both gender, know who you marry, be careful of who you marry, and all of that. How has your partner, your wife, impacted this business?
Well, I think that's a message is still as relevant. It's always been there. I can't remember any generation that marriage is not spoken about. I can't remember any generation. In fact, if you go to our forefathers, it's the same thing. And even till today, I still advise my kids that they have to truly be intentional about making friends with the right people and quality people, because your spouse will most likely come from within your network. And so it's important that you have all of that. And for me, I think I've just been so fortunate and blessed. My wife today happens to be my co-founder, my best friend, and we are just excited and happy together. It's not easy. It's been intentional all the way on all fronts. And that's why I'd like to actually advise the younger generations. Loyalty has to be on both sides. You don't expect one person to come to the table. Everybody must come to the table with clean hands as much as possible. And so for me, everybody knows my beautiful wife happens to be one of our greatest assets in Vanguard Pharmacy, and fantastic all the way. I don't know what else you actually want me to say, but marrying right is important. It's key, and if you are fortunate to marry the right person, I think you should just maximize the opportunity as best as possible, and that's exactly what we are trying to do.
For young pharmacists who wants to start a community pharmacy, what advice would you give?
Well, maybe they should watch out for my book that will come out sometime next year.
Wow.
I'm hoping. I've not even started writing, but the idea is actually out there, and we are trying to do a lot of things to ensure that it comes into fruition. But what I tell people is that, the younger generations always think it is easier in the past, and that's a fallacy. Indeed, if you ask every generation, that's what they will say. I remember when we entered pharmacy school, the people before us, just before we entered, were writing 2 papers per day. Days of almighty exams. And when we got into uni, the strain was noticed, and the institution had reduced the exams to once daily. And it was still crazy period. I get to pharmacy school now, I hear people say they write exams once in a week, once every other day, and you are just like, these people are enjoying. And they now even do semester exams. So don't always, every generation will always have all of that story. But the most important thing to do is to know that if you truly desire to go on that path, then you have to be patient. because a lot of things will test your resolve. Are you truly prepared for that journey? And so what I see today, a lot of people are not prepared. They just look at the end game. Oh, see Vanguard today, I want to be like Vanguard. They don't even bother to ask what we went through trying to build a brand. They see beautiful brands and they just want to. So it's always good to go back and really listen to the people that build businesses all across the world and check how painful it was at the early stages. And so for me, anybody that wants to venture into that path must be patient. And one other thing I tell people is that they must learn to delay gratification. Because when you are earning salaries, if you blow up all your salaries at the middle of the month, by month end another income will come. But for entrepreneurs, if you blow up all your profits in 1 month, you will not have something to reinvest at the end of the day. And if you don't keep your books properly, or even if you keep your books properly, the gaps will be seen and people, investors will run away from you. So it's important that we pay attention to all of that and learn to delay gratification as much as possible. And I think on top of it, I'll say they should look for a great mentor. And a great mentor can support you, can also guide you as much as possible. And if they've truly chosen a good mentor, then they should listen to the advice given by that person. Of course, entrepreneurship is not what you can teach or advise someone. It is when they get there, they begin to see the realities. But the beautiful thing is that there are a lot of successful stories all around the world. And so they can always speak and read there. So, but for me, those three things will be key for me.
I'm telling my viewers that watch out for more episodes, and if you have questions for him, please drop them in the comment section. Lastly, sir, what is your general advice to not just pharmacists, people generally, young individuals who want to be like Vanguard?
I think that's also a wrong premise to base one's assumptions on. Why do you want to be like Vanguard? Because Vanguard is not like any other person. And that's the reality. There were a lot of people we met doing community pharmacy, but we dared to be different. And today, Vanguard is different. So one of the things, the first rudiment you pick in the school of branding is that it's either you differentiate yourself or you die. So if you are going out there, please dare to be different. That's one major advice I give to anybody that wants to do anything. And the moment you dare to be different, your outcome will also be different. And so it's important that we understand that. But generally speaking, to the younger generations in Nigeria, and I say this without any fear or favor, it's a land that is filled with a lot of opportunities. We keep running out of the country for greener pastures. Foreigners keep coming in droves. At least we know of the Indians and the Chinese coming in droves to milk the opportunities that's available in this country. So I tell people, it won't have to be perfect at the early stages. But if you are truly prepared to go all the way, please underline that, all the way, then it is something that you can pursue and it will be worth it at the end of the day. But again, like I said, you need to look out for opportunities, get a good mentor, and ensure that you are patient and you can persevere along that journey. And so even now, we still get a lot of good outcome coming out from entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs across the length and breadth of Nigeria.
So are there opportunities for people who want to be mentored by you?
It has always been. I have always I've always had that open invitation, not just for pharmacists, but for young people. And even now, for anyone that desires to actually scale their business. And, though for some of them, I run a paid consulting services in partnership with a very good friend of mine who was a consultant firm. And people are actually eager to pay millions of naira to actually come on that course. But beyond that too, we know that everybody can't be at that level. We still offer free advices and mentorship to the younger one that also desires to actually listen to us as much as possible.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for this opportunity. I'm so grateful. I do not take it for granted. Any closing remark? Any parting word?
Yeah, well, pattern shots. Well, I think it's been contained in my comment all along. But again, if I'm going to just wrap up, is to tell people that even here, even now, things are happening. The challenges, we have got a lot of numerous challenges in Nigeria. Yes, government will have to solve a lot of them, but quite a few are also available for open-minded entrepreneurs to solve. And if you can identify those spaces, plug in, you can actually create something that's fantastic out of the way. And we should not forget, the population of Nigeria will continue to grow. And I think it's been projected by 2050 to 2070, Nigeria will become the third most populous nation in the world, second only to China, India, and China. And will have overtaken the United States of America. So the question is, what does that mean to you? To me, it's opportunities. And I think we need Nigerians to see that and tap into it without looking at the limitations that the environment still presents. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, viewers. It's an amazing time with Pharmacist Taofik Odukoya. See you on the next one.